welcome to Zero Dark Thirsty. This is Irina with the Boots2Boo'd Up segment, and today we have Linda with us. Super excited to have her on this segment. Hey, Linda. So go ahead and just tell me a little bit about yourself and your journey.
So I was a Navy sailor for 22 years, been married for 25. I just hit 25 years, December 16th, the past December. I have two kids. Well, I call them kids, but they're actually mini adults. My son is in college, his freshman year, and my daughter recently moved out and she's working on the other base in Everett.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Congratulations on 25 years. That's such a huge milestone. Amazing. So take us back to December 2000. What do you remember about meeting your husband for like the first time at your first duty station?
So it's funny because I met his circle of friends before I met him. He was on deployment. So literally the story I tell my kids all the time is that I walked out of my room because I lived on one side of the barracks. He lived on the other and he was moving into his dorm and he lived like two stories higher than I did. And I just happened to glance up and, here's this guy in a white t-shirt and lifting all this stuff. And I was like, oh, cute. So we ended up hanging out in the same circles. And, truth be told, him and the friend that I met first, Lewis, they played pool to see who was going to go talk to the new girl. And my husband won. And
That's
so that's where the story begins as we started hanging out. It's been a beautiful blossoming journey for both of us.
That's amazing. Now, back then, did you think that this was gonna lead you down a 25-year, marriage, in the mill-to-mill capacity?
I want to say no, but I think deep down I thought yes. And the reason being is that we're not like other couples that date for a long time.
Mhm.
We actually dated for about 5 months. 3 months in, I was pregnant.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah, we got started pretty early and we're definitely young teenagers not knowing what the heck they were getting into. But when I found out I was pregnant, he was on deployment again, going
Mm.
on deployment, coming back. He came back and this is probably TMI, but I probably gave him too much info where the little paper well, back then you could pee on the
Yeah.
stick and then cut it out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I left to go to school and he had arrived the day after that night. And so he came back to a note saying, "You're going to be a dad." And and so I kind of gave him an out when I finally came back a few weeks later from school from Japan. I kind of gave him an out. I was like, "Hey, you don't have to do this with me. Like it's fine." And no, he stuck around and it's been awesome raising our two kids together.
Yeah, that's amazing. What an incredible story. I love that you said that you guys didn't date for a long time. I know a lot of military couples who don't date for a long time. I feel like it's like, you know.
Yeah.
And then it just works out, right? And look at you, your beautiful story. I love that. So tell me
Yeah.
a little bit about the mill to mill journey, right? Because I feel like I'm a prior spouse and a veteran and about to be a spouse again. But I look at the mill to mill and people think, okay, it's either chaos or you're always fighting for, who's the star of the show or things like that. But how was it for you guys?
Honestly, I think the thing that people don't realize when you're meal to meal is that you're both not always home. And I think adjusting to that lifestyle is hard, but when you're living it, it's a little bit easier. So throughout the year, one of us has to be gone at
Mm,
least 6 months out of the year. So there's always one parent that's stepping up half of the year to do both. But I think because we from the get-go knew what we were getting into, I think it's different being male to male than being a male spouse to a civilian spouse because it's just you live the life that you kind of come to an understanding of like, okay, you know what's going on. You know what I'm going
yeah.
through at work. You know that I have to work 12-hour shifts. Like
Yeah.
it came a little bit more with a little bit of just knowledge of knowing what we were getting into. And I think what helped us was that when we had our ups or our lows, the other one always just picked up the slack. So if I knew he was about to go on this hard deployment, I always knew, okay, you know what, I got to step it up a bit. And I think having that understanding and that communication truly helped us both in making it to 25 years.
I love that you said that. I used to be maintenance, and my fiance now is also maintenance, and I always asked him, right? I was like, "Do you feel like it's easier that I understand, the job
Hmm.
essentially when you're still going out and you're doing the job and all of that. So I love that you mentioned that. But like looking from the outside, is there anything ever that has come up from like the outside where people just do not understand how the dynamic works or something they don't see or don't understand?
Uh, I think the biggest thing is how our true roles. From the outside perspective, my family has always asked, like, how do you go like literally 6 months without seeing each other? You guys are still
Mm.
together. And I think the biggest piece is that we communicate. I mean, whatever means there was, now we have the internet, you
Yeah.
know, I joined after my cousin joined the military, and so when I joined, it was waiting for that email to come through that was like a group email. We would get a floppy disk and everybody's emails would be on that thing and like, yeah, I'm dating myself, but like it's just the constant communication. The every At least once a day, he's deployed now, at least once a day he calls me to say, "Hey, good morning," or it's even just to say good night. That
I love
one, little sentence just makes me feel like, okay, it's gonna be okay. He remembers that I'm here. Like, he knows that I'm here, and I think that's the biggest thing compared to from the outside perspective. I think it's just the knowing that our life is definitely it comes and goes with rifts. The
mm,
having to, adjust. One day he could be here, the next day it's like, "Okay, hey, I gotta go on this debt." It's just knowing that lifestyle, I think for me. I don't know from an outside perspective, I haven't really been questioning anything else other than you only see him for 6 months. Like,
yeah, yeah. That's
I'm not
understandable.
sure.
That's a long time.
Yeah, yeah. And I think there's only been once where we were both deployed.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
my kids had to
lucky.
go live with my parents for a year.
Yeah.
And that was rough. That was
Yeah.
definitely rough.
How was
But
the
but it comes
adjustment
with
with
the
that?
territory. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's awesome. That's amazing. I love that you said communication as well. I feel like that's such a big part. I mean, obviously 25 years,
yeah.
you would know, yeah. So you're retired now. That's amazing. How was that transition for you going to retirement to now full-time, support spouse? How was that
So
transition for you?
I think I'm still in my transition.
Yeah.
I retired in October 2021, and I don't think I was ready to retire.
Mm,
I hit first class and I stayed a first class. And with the Navy, you hit, 22 years at the time was the higher tenure, and that's it. You can't go any further. And I was not ready to get out. I'm still not ready to get out.
yeah.
I still I work on base. I have the need to be around the military community even now, and it's been a struggle. I think that's one of the things that we don't talk about a lot is the
Mhm.
loss that you feel from being in that
Yeah.
that environment and the purpose that you get. I loved being in chaos. I
Yeah.
love
Oh,
when
yeah.
my days were hectic. Like, that was the best. And
Yeah.
now you have to throttle back a bit, and it's difficult. On top of that, this last few months, I had a huge season of change. My husband
Mm,
deployed, my son went off to college, and my daughter moved out all within the same month and a half. And
mm.
that was, I mean, it was like a slap in the face because now I have to come to the reality of, okay, now it's me. What do I do with myself? I've been the
Yeah.
caretaker, I've been the spouse, I've been the mom, and now it's like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
And I've grown though. I definitely have grown. This whole deployment has allowed me to realize that, okay, I can take care of myself. I can be on my own. I can I can grow myself rather than trying to focus on others. And I think that has been amazing to be
I
able
love
to
that.
do volunteer work. I work with Act Now Education virtually, another
Awesome.
amazing organization that I just love to give back and help veterans. And I think that's what gives me purpose right now is that being able to do things that still connect me to the military community.
I love that. I love that you said that it gave you space to kind of find your own new identity. I do think that a lot of veterans don't talk about the loss of identity, especially when you're going
Hmm.
from, retirement or separation and now you're becoming a full-time caregiver. I also experienced that identity loss. I was a
Hmm.
staff sergeant in the Air Force and then I got out and then I was a different cybersecurity professional. And then I was like, I don't know, now what, And I
Yeah.
love that you
Yeah.
said that because I feel like that's something so many people struggle with, but we don't talk
Hmm.
about that enough. What kind of like steps did you take to help you outside of like volunteering and doing things like that to kind of realign yourself and give yourself the space to grow in that new identity?
So another thing that I think we don't talk about is being accepting of mental health. I
Mm,
went and sought out a therapist. I
love that.
needed that support and that structure that could provide me the tools necessary to be able to know it's going to be okay. Like this is not the end of the world. And I think it was because of that loss that I needed that extra support, not having my husband here, not having something to refocus my attention like my kids. Now I'm
Mm,
in this silence, and it was hard for me to adjust to, but seeking out that mental health, doing the volunteer work, calling, the military, you don't always have family around you.
mm.
So my family is in Texas, my husband's family is in New York. And so being able to reach out to them and having people come visit me instead of me
Oh,
having to go visit
yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's been awesome. This past year my cousin visited me with his whole, he calls it his wolf pack, all of his kids and their, significant others.
Yeah.
And recently my niece just visited me. So it's been nice to have that connection that you sometimes miss out on because
Yeah.
of the military life.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. And speaking of, changes, I'm sure as your career progressed and as your marriage grew, there was a lot of changes. We change as individuals all the time.
Hmm.
How did that look like for you over the 25 years of your career and your marriage?
Oh my goodness. I joined when I was 17. So I
Oh,
was a
okay.
baby. I was definitely a baby. But I think the military structure kind of makes you grow into being an adult earlier than everybody else.
Mm,
I definitely can compare myself to my siblings, and I definitely, and even they pointed out, like, you just talk different, you just act different, you walk
yeah.
different. And I think the military gave me that ability to grow. I have learned to adapt and to not be afraid. This, I definitely want to say, since I retired, I have learned to not be afraid or to accept
Mhm.
those challenges and to not doubt myself, which I definitely, when you're younger, you do a lot of. You definitely don't
Yeah.
know where you're going or what you're doing or what you should do or shouldn't do. And I think that as I've grown, older throughout the years and matured, I think I've just learned that, you know what, you only get one life and I'm going to take every chance possible. The worst that can happen is that they say no, or, I don't get the job, or, I don't do this, but I can always try again in something else.
I love that. Yes, that's so powerful because
Yeah.
the worst that can happen is you don't get a yes or, something like that.
Hmm.
I love that. Now,
Yeah.
how did that look like for your marriage? I mean, mill to mill sounds intense.
It is. It is. Like I said, one of us is always gone, and it definitely puts
Yeah.
a strain on your relationship sometimes. You're wondering, what are they doing? What's going on? How do you stay connected? Sometimes they get so hyper focused, and I say they, my husband, but I did the same thing. When I was in, I would get hyper focused with work, forget to call home or something. I think the main thing is just the keep it staying in touch. I think that's what truly helped us, and always being there for one another. I could always
Mhm.
come home and complain about work, and he truly understood me because he was living the life. And
Yeah.
so being able to have someone that you can come home to and vent to, and then knowing, okay, I need to provide the correct words right now to just let
Yes.
it be okay. I think that's what's helped us throughout the years for sure.
I love that. That's
Yeah.
very good. Very insightful. Was there any time during your time in service or in your marriage as well where you just thought like this is super hard and
Oh,
and, like what helped you push through that?
all the time. I mean, even now, 25 years in, my husband's still serving. I think the main thing is voicing that.
Mm.
Again, I think a lot of the times, what's that book, or I don't even know if it's a book. Men are for Mars, girls are for Venus.
Oh yeah.
Like, you have to be able to talk. And again, 25 years of marriage, we're only now learning it, in the last few years, because we have also participated in Credo, a retreat that marriage retreats you could do
Yeah.
through the military, is that I can't expect him to know what is bothering me if I don't voice it. So 100% now, every single thing that bothers me, I let him know. Whether it's
Mm.
minuscule, to, hey, you didn't introduce me when I was standing right
Yeah.
next to you, to, hey, you didn't call me last night. And you've been
Mm.
calling me every single day for the past 5 days, and then you don't call me. Like, what happened? So I think voicing that stuff that bothers me has helped him to see where I'm coming from when he's gone, or him doing the same thing to me, saying, "Hey, you didn't pick up your phone." Well, I stayed at work late today, like
Yeah.
I'm doing things too. So it's having that understanding of communication throughout our marriage that has truly, truly helped us. It's the one thing that I can constantly say is like you have got to voice every single thing. Let each other know what's going on. And then also accept what they're going to tell you is going to be the solution. Because a lot of the times we
Mhm.
expect something, but they're not thinking the same way. And I think we got to come to an agreement, meet each other halfway and knowing, hey, I'm not going to be able to call you every single day sometimes because sometimes, things just happen at work that I have to work past the time that you're going to be awake because you're in a different time zone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and my solution to that is, well, send me a text message. I can wake up
Yeah.
to a text message.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's
Now
those
how
kind of things.
Yeah, I love that. Now
Yeah.
how does that open communication has helped you guys navigate your careers, both of your careers when
Mm.
have career pitfalls or wins? How did you guys handle that together?
So I think we both, from the moment we knew that we were going to stay together, is that we both knew, okay, we're going to do 1 year. It's going to be everything for you, or, during orders. Because for us in the Navy, being male to male, at least for our career, it was 3 years everywhere we went. three
Mm,
years of me being on sea duty, 3 years of me being on shore duty, and then we would flip.
mm,
And I think in those stanzas where we were picking orders and saying, okay, where could we go where we're both going to benefit, where we're both
mm,
going to be able to grow, is what we did to kind of help us in our careers. And then at one point it was like, okay, I hit that wall of, okay, I made first class and now it's out of my hands. I have to wait for somebody else to see I, worthy of moving up. And he was moving up. And so it was
mm,
like, okay, I'm going to take a step back and I'm just going to accept that I'm going to take the step back and I'm going to let him flourish. That's where that one time where I was talking about where we both ended up being deployed. I was literally leaving on deployment within a month and his chain of command came with him and was like, "Hey, we need him to go set up this site. Is it okay?" And I was like, "Okay, well, you got to come talk to my chain of command and let them know I got to fly my kids to see my parents."
yeah,
And I was willing to do that because I didn't want to I didn't want to regret not letting him take that role and it affect him negatively in his career journey.
mm,
And so I knew that, you know what, we have the support, we have the capability of our kids are going to be okay if they go. And it's for years. It's going to be rough, but it's going to, in the long run, the end game is it's going to be so much more better. And I mean, he went from being undesignated to he's a warrant officer now. So
yeah.
yeah,
That's amazing.
it's been a
Wow,
great
what a
career journey.
Yeah, that's incredible. Talk about like a partnership, right? Like
Yeah.
that's incredible. And really like mill to mill, I feel like you have to have that partnership. It's
Yeah.
incredible. Wow,
That's the
like
perfect
opening
word,
my
a
eyes.
partnership. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Like wow, that's beautiful.
Hmm.
I love that. Now you said your husband's a warrant officer and
Hmm.
is he getting close to retirement as well?
So, yes and no. We were thinking that retirement was just a few years away,
Yeah.
but there is some stuff going on in the military where they might be allowing an extension, another
Oh, awesome.
extension to that. And of course, I'm like, go for it.
Yeah.
We were thinking that if he was to retire within the next few years, it was going to be at Warrant Officer CW04,
Mhm.
the 4 grade, because of the stuff that he would need in order to be able to make it to that U5. It wasn't going to be enough time. But with that said, with the steps that are going on now, again, here comes that partnership.
Yeah.
We've agreed that he's going to take a new role in the next 7 months. So yes, I'm PCSing in 7 months. That is going to
That's a
help
long
him set
time.
him up
Yeah.
for that possibility of making CWO.
Wow.
Again, yeah, it's that partnership of communicating, "Hey, are you willing to stay an extra 2
Yeah.
years if that possibility is there?" And I'm like, "Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Go as high as you can." Like,
I love
of
that.
course.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh
And
my
it's
god, that's
amazing
amazing.
because he was undesignated. The going from undesignated to picking a rate, which was for him was airframes, and then he was a welder, and then to progress to, all the way to senior chief, and then from senior chief pick up warrant. It's been amazing to see him grow for
Yeah.
sure.
That's amazing. Wow. PCSing in 7 months though.
Yes,
Good
and
luck.
he's deployed.
Yeah, that's crazy. How does it always like end up like that?
Oh, it always happens, and that's not the only thing. It's that whenever one of us is gone, something happens. The
Yeah.
car needs new tires, the battery breaks down on the vehicle. Like it's never a one single incident of deployment where something big hasn't occurred. It's
Yeah.
always something. Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing though. But because the partnership, I'm assuming like everything is handled well, right? Like I love that if one is deployed, then you know the other one has it locked in at home and
Hmm.
everything is taken care of. And that is so important, especially in a deployed environment where you have to focus on your job.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Congratulations to him because that's a huge thing, right? We're thinking retirement is just right around the corner and now this big change, but it sounds
Yeah.
like you guys are excited about it. So all
Yep.
good.
We
Yeah,
are.
that's
We are
amazing.
definitely.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so you guys stay connected all the time. That's amazing.
Hmm.
Is there anything that you would change looking back, in your 25 years in your career or in your marriage or anything like that? Do you ever look back and you're like, wow, I wish I had done that a little bit different?
I think for me, the only thing that I regret from my career, and again, I say that, we were young when we first joined, both of us, is that I didn't pursue going officer myself. I
Mm.
could have done that starting out young. I could have done it, at my first duty station, just trying to go that route. And I think it was the fear of am I truly, suited for that kind of role? Am I good enough for that? That just kind of held me back. And I was like, no, I'll just stay as, I'll keep doing what I'm doing and I'll progress this way. That's the only thing that that I regret is not not pushing myself to do
Yeah,
it sooner or to have taken that step to be able to pursue that path. But,
yeah,
everything worked out. Everything worked out. He's moving up. I'm growing into my own person. Our kids are doing amazing. They're learning from us what to do, especially as far as like the goals that we're teaching them. I'm a first generation, so I'm the first person to go to college. Not only that, I'm working on my MBA right now.
yeah,
I'm taking 2 classes. I have 3 classes to go, and I think setting that example for our kids and for the next generation, for that matter, it's just every generation we're trying to instill that you just keep going further, go a little bit further, go a little bit
yeah.
further, and I think that's the best thing.
I love that. How did your kids like, being military kids? How was that dynamic for them?
Not at all. I don't know how other mill to mill families are, but my kids were like, I will never join. We
Oh,
almost
that's fun.
convinced my son. He did do during high school the NJROTC.
Yeah.
But my daughter was like, "No, I do not want that lifestyle." And my son is the same way. He's like, "No." He almost again, like I said, he did the JROTC and he wanted at one point to be a pilot, but now he's studying chemistry.
Oh,
So
wow,
it's yeah,
amazing.
he took a complete sidetrack. But yeah, no, they definitely didn't like the military life. And I
Mm,
think but I also think now that they're older is that they see all the little small sacrifices that we
yeah,
made was to give them the life that they have now, to be able to
yeah,
do what they have now. So I
that's
think they
amazing.
understand.
Yeah,
They understand.
that's amazing. How did you guys handle being apart for so long and, one spouse is home, one spouse is deployed? How did you kind of grow a community around yourself? Because as we know, family is usually in a different state, not around.
Mhm.
How did you handle growing a community around yourself? That's so important.
I think for us, what we did is having our the military community itself, relying on our military friends that, when he was gone, I could call one and be like, "Hey, the car won't start. Can you come check it out?"
Yeah.
You know, having those kind of friendships that from our first duty station, we're still friends with a lot of them. Like we
Yeah.
still, and it was amazing because I was on board the ship one time, and I just hear my nickname in the military when I first joined was Mosquito. My last name is Mosquera. And so
Yeah.
somebody tagged me Mosquito. And so I hear in the hangar base somebody yell Mosquito. And I'm like, nobody knows me by that name here. Who is yelling that? And one of our original friends was on board and he was doing an inspection for another command. So
Amazing.
the Navy is so big, the military
Yeah.
community is so big, but it's also so small because you still
Yeah.
can stay connected across the years. Yeah, it's amazing.
That's incredible. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. Oh, that's so funny. It's a big community, but also small. I totally agree with you on that.
Yeah.
If there was any advice that you would give to other mill to mill couples or, veterans who are becoming full-time spouses or
Mhm.
anything like that, what is the advice that you would give them?
For new mill to mill is be patient. Be
Mm,
patient and understanding with each other. It's definitely a different lifestyle when you're mill to mill, but it's doable. It's doable if you're patient, you communicate, and you both are living the same life. So I think when you're able to communicate with each other and talk it out about whatever struggles you're going through, I think it's you can make it to 25 years or longer. Definitely, definitely. And don't try to do it on your own either. I think as couples, we try to focus that, we don't want anyone to know what's going on in our life,
mm,
but you're not the only ones that are going through that. And that goes for veterans in transition too. We try to
mm,
do it alone and
yes.
we don't have to. There's so many organizations out there and communities that are there to wanting to help, to coach, to provide a camaraderie that you lose from leaving the military. There's so much out there that you just have to take advantage of it and be open to accepting that it's not, I don't want to say it's criticism, but accepting that support. Because
Mhm,
sometimes we take it as criticism when we're asking for help, and it's support, and you just have to
yeah.
be open to accepting that kind of stuff.
I love that. I love that. If you
Yeah.
could go back, not go back, but if you look back at your transition and how all of that looked, what is the one piece of advice that you would give yourself now looking back at it?
Oh my goodness, from my
It's a hard one.
transition. Yeah. What I just said, I waited a good year and a half. I wanna say I got out in 2021. I wanna say it was after COVID, beginning 2023, when I finally was like, "Okay, I need to quit trying to figure this out on my own, and I need to take
Mm,
advantage of the communities that were out there."
yeah.
And I was part of Ag Now Education. I knew about that community in 2021. I
Yeah.
didn't become active in it until ending of 2022, 2023, and that's when I saw just a blossom in myself and in my growth. That's when I
Mm,
saw it, is when I actually started to reach out and see, "Oh, there's a different way to handle this situation. I don't have to be pulling my hair out." Yeah, taking advantage of all those networks and just being receptive to it.
I love that. I also struggled with my transition. Do you think that comes from kind of our pride, as veterans, we kind of I feel like when we're in service, we handle it like I figured it out, right? I
Mhm.
know what I'm doing. Do you think that when we're transitioning out, that has an effect on, we're like prideful and asking for help or advice?
I think it's a little bit of the pride and a little bit of the just not understanding what the process
Mm,
is. And while there is a multitude of support out there, it's not in a centralized location. So you're having
mm,
to go and
yes.
look for it yourself. So when you can't find that exact thing, that resource that's there that you're looking for, it's kind of detrimental to you because you're like, okay, well, now what? The biggest thing is that in your transition, you have to realize that you can't do it alone. I think
Mm,
that's the biggest thing. You have to accept all the emotions too. In the military, we're
mm.
like, no, put those emotions aside. You're feeling sick. No, you're not.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
try to suppress everything, and when you become a civilian, you don't. You have to let
Yeah,
all that stuff out because if
yeah,
not, you're just gonna keep carrying it, and it's just gonna hurdle that you're creating
yeah,
for yourself.
yeah.
So yeah, yeah, I think the biggest thing is that knowing that you're not alone, you're not the only one going through it, and there's help out there.
I love that. I love that you said that. Bottling it up in the military is a big thing, and then separating or, retiring, you're like, "Wow, I have all these
Yep.
emotions."
Tylenol is not gonna fix it.
Yeah, or ibuprofen. I love that. Is there anything you guys do in your marriage to celebrate, milestones in your marriage, in your career? 25 years is such a long time. Both
Mhm.
of your careers look so different. How do you guys celebrate, big wins or even little wins, support each other?
I think the main thing is we try to bring it back to being around family.
Mm.
Every opportunity that we have when we are together is we try to do something where we're as a family. Whether that's taking on during the Christmas holidays when Star Wars used to be released during the Christmas
Oh, yeah.
holidays, we would make sure we were all in our onesies going to go watch the movie.
I love it.
So, yeah, making sure that when we're with our kids, again, my mini adults, that we're doing something together, playing
Mm.
family games, Me and my husband, every opportunity we can, at least once a month, going on a date night,
Love
just
that.
bringing it back in to where we're focusing on each other and
Mhm.
forgetting about everything else.
Mm.
Yeah,
I love
going on
that.
hikes. I'm in the Pacific Northwest, and going on hikes is just the best
Yeah.
thing. Getting that fresh
Incredible.
air. Yes,
Yeah. I
yes,
love
out
that.
here for sure.
Yeah. How do you see that looking like now that you're retired and now he's not gonna be retiring for a while? How do you see that kind of change, right? And how do you handle the change?
Yeah, I think the next big hurdle that I'm facing right now is as a mom is I'm gonna be in a whole other state.
Yeah.
Learning to let go has definitely been difficult as far as knowing that my kids are going to be okay. I
Mm.
think that's been a big struggle for me right now is that they're not dependent on me anymore.
Yeah.
It's now, when I told them, "Hey, we're gonna be moving," or, "What do you think about this?" My son literally was like, "You're an adult. Go for it."
Yeah.
My daughter was like, "I'm here if he needs me. You will be okay. Now it's you and dad's time." And I think that's awesome to hear, but at
Yeah.
the same time, it cuts a little.
Yeah. I was about to say it's like the roles are kind of reversed,
Yeah,
right? Now they're
exactly.
telling you like you're the adult, like
Yeah, exactly. And so I think it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice to, no more having to buy 4 plane tickets, no more having to
yeah.
pick a hotel that has some kind of, kid activities. Now it's
Yeah.
okay, now it's our time. Now it's our time to go out and enjoy, and I think it's gonna be nice. We were gonna celebrate our 25th anniversary in Costa Rica.
Oh,
But with
wow.
this deployment, being extended a bit, we were like, well, you know what? He can't go. I'm gonna make it a girls' trip. So now it's a girls' trip with me, my niece, my sister-in-law, my sisters. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm
I
I'm
love
starting to
that.
accept taking care of myself.
Yeah, I love that because I was like, "Oh, here's, like, where's the resilience part comes in," I feel like, right? So,
Yes.
you're showing so much resilience here, and then you're just, like, so adaptable to change, it's incredible, I
Mhm.
absolutely love it. Any, like, last bits of advice or wisdoms you wanna share with the community?
I don't know about wisdom because I'm still learning myself. No, I think the biggest thing that I can continue to say is just don't be afraid to open yourself up to change, to like you said, being adaptable to what's coming. It's sometimes scary, but it's
Mm.
doable. You will overcome whatever obstacle comes your way. You will overcome. And if you can't do it by yourself, lean on anybody that is around you that's willing to give you that support.
Oh, I love that, that's so great.
Yeah.
It is Is there anything that you're super, super looking forward to in the future?
So I want to, once we retire, to own my own business.
Ooh,
I
love that.
want to be my own owner, my own. I don't want to have anyone over me. And I think I'm looking forward to that possibility. Once my husband retires and I'm able to do, and, we're able to finally move into our forever home. I'm looking forward to that, to being able to wake up when I want to, make my own schedule, travel when I want to, not having to ask anybody for permission. I think I'm looking forward to that.
I
Definitely.
love that.
And being
Yeah,
around family for sure. You sacrifice so much being in the military, being away from family. You miss birthdays and, celebrations, and being able to now be there for those, it's going to be amazing.
I love that so much. Well, thank you so much. This has been so incredible. I loved learning about mill to mill because it was new to me. I'm sure there's other people that can learn. Thank you so much. Yeah, thank you so much for
Of
having
course.
the talk with us. Yeah.
Of course. Thanks for having me. And anybody can reach out to me on LinkedIn. I'm still supporting the military community in every capacity that I can.
This is the end of our episode here on Boots2Boo'd Up. Zero Dark Thirsty. Be sure to check us out on all of our social media and tune in on YouTube, Spotify, LinkedIn, and all the other platforms.
Bye.
Bye.